We're live. I hope everyone can hear me because today we're gonna be going through the fires. Pacific Palisades is on fire. I was out earlier today with my brother. We were in, we went all the way down to Venice, but Santa Monica got evacuation orders too, so it's not really safe to be in Santa Monica or those areas anymore. Um, we've been keeping up with this fire since it first started. My brother was my brother was in, where was he? He was in like El Segundo near LAX, and he texted me and he's like urgently, he's like, bro, you need to get down here and bring your streaming stuff. I was like, oh damn. He's saying that, it must be something crazy. And then of course, I asked like, yo, what the fuck? What the hell is happening? He's like, I don't know, heavy police presence, and there was. I noticed when I got there too. The first thing I saw there, like I pulled up and there was like a convoy of at least 10 police motorcycles just going next to each other. And then yeah, we parked, and then he was explaining to me what he saw. And he's like, yeah, so there's the planes, they're closing it off over there. But then also he's like, there's a huge plume of smoke coming from Santa Monica Palisades area. And yeah, that's what it happened to be. It happened to be the fires in Palisades. And when we saw it, it was crazy because it was fresh, right? So there was not too much smoke going up into the air, and you could pretty much see the flames like on the mountain during the day. So we stuck it out there for a little bit, and it was getting kind of uncomfortable for us too because it was windy. It was getting quite windy out there. So then, yeah, we stayed for a bit. I was streaming it, and you could see clearly, man. Like it just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And at some point, you're like, "Yo, this is terrible." Oh no! There we go. So now we're gonna watch some. We're gonna watch some updates of the fire. Let me just center this right here. Perfect. And let's go here. Hopefully it works. Yesterday it was lagging. Let me plug it in. That might help. Yeah.
30s, Will Rogers was one of the most popular and highest paid actors in Hollywood.
Oh yeah, Will Rogers.
Fine.
Topanga
He
Ranch
owned
Motel burned down.
359 acres in what is now known as Pacific Palisades.
State Park employee
At the
residence
time
burned
of his
down.
death, his ranch consisted of a 31-room ranch house with a neighboring guest housing and other things. Oh, his house was built, and also the Topanga Ranch Motel was built in 1929 by William Randolph Hearst.
Oh, Hearst. He has the Hearst Castle.
It had 30 rooms.
I heard he was a bad man, though. I don't know.
Living room of Will Rogers Ranch House. It says here,
Guys,
top right, living room after the fire.
Like, can you see me? Can you hear me? Is everything okay? Because this is like my third time doing this, and it's...
And then Topanga Ranch Motel.
Palisade operations, Palisade air attack V1.
The fire aftermath at the Topanga Ranch Motel.
Wow, dude, I've seen this so many times.
So this is a news release from California State Parks.
How did nothing else catch besides the building? Look at all those trees. Very suspicious. Hey, at least those chimneys.
Many, of course, many other structures destroyed. Over 1,000 structures destroyed in the fires. We don't have an exact number yet.
Yeah, that's kind of
enormous amounts of houses were destroyed in the Palisades fire. We know that.
This must be like Marina Del Rey area. Yeah, so you see there's a fire there, and then when you go inland, like,
LA East air attack on command.
There's another fire, and that's what's making it bad. Like,
Eaton air attack command, go ahead, sir.
Thin now.
Oh, and I didn't know this. The Will Rogers.
Air attack with aircraft release. Tanker 914 released
empty back to San Bernardino east of 1710. Tanker 4-1.
Palisade operation, Palisade air attack command.
Should be on the ground now. And checking status of Tanker 02. If they have not lifted from their previous location, we'll go ahead and cancel that. They're just confirming that Tanker 122 returnable calls.
I think KCAL News is
Operations
showing
Branch
a
7 on
church
command.
on fire at Lake Ave and Calaveras Street, by the way.
Eden operation, correction, Eden air attack, LA copies. Tanker 914 empty.
Operation.
San Bernardino
Air attack.
1710.
Command.
Tanker 41 empty, should be on ground at Fox at this time. Updated information for Tanker 2. Turned down assignment due to time and sunset. You do still have Tanker 169 if they have not checked in with you in the air on the way.
This, is that a church? What is this right here?
Tanker 169, Tanker 95, Tanker 7.
Oh, is it a school?
And, never had communication.
Yeah, I've driven.
Elliott Arts Magnet? Is that a school?
Copy will follow up
my
for
God,
Tanker
are you
122.
Yes. Elliott Arts Magnet is a school. That school is on fire right now. Elliott Arts Magnet School in Altadena is on fire. The roof's on fire. I can see it on KCAL. KCAL is showing the roof on fire right around
Kids gonna go to school
here.
now.
It looks like right here. They were just showing it on KCAL. I don't have the rights to the video, but they are showing this school, Elliott Arts Magnet School. Is there an about? But the roof is on fire. They just showed it
Division Yankee Zulu from Branch 7 on command.
That's crazy.
on KCAL.
Lake Ave.
The
Branch
school
7,
offers
Yankee
a
Zulu, go ahead.
variety of arts electives and arts integration
have an
to the
answer to
core
that last
classes
request?
daily.
How
They
are these
say.
kids gonna go to school now?
It's in-
So,
Yeah, I just advised Branch 10.
imagine how long
20
it's
Charlie
gonna
was able to make it to the address. House is unoccupied and no impingement from the fire. I copy. Thank you.
So I just saw that, and I was going to mention I didn't know about Will Rogers State Park. That the Will
Operation
Rogers,
Palisade air attack command.
the state park is the is the former estate of Will Rogers in the Pacific Palisades area. They had a bunch of damage, including his historic ranch house burned down. Oh, hold on a second. Karen Bass is supposed to speak right now. Comments from the LA mayor. Coming up, comments from the LA mayor, Karen Bass. She is supposed to speak at any moment now, and I will have video of that for you. So Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass is speaking shortly. It's supposed to be now, but it's not live yet.
Division Palisade operations, Palisade air attack on command D1.
Press conference coming up, Mayor Bass and other officials. Oh, a press conference. They'll probably talk about the Palisades fire coming up now. Press conference coming up now, guys, about
Victor Trainee, Branch 7 on command.
the LA fires.
Branch command.
Let me just make sure.
If you're up here, can you come up to Shireen and Stunt?
Here it is. Hold on. I'm going to get this on the screen for you. There it is. There it is. We have, this is in Los Angeles. I assume it's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'll give you a call
Operations
yourself.
Branch, gonna give you a cell call if you pick up. Palisade operations, Palisade air attack, command.
Hey, go ahead for operations. Go ahead.
Operations, got you now. Just want to touch base with you. Your last transmission broke. Transition with air attack.
Air attack, you broke there, talking about transition.
Yeah, just letting you know we need air attack with aircraft release. To go. Had any change in the priority?
Guy took something off the
Eat the
podium.
attack on command. Go ahead.
LA air attack.
Yeah, you're getting walked on.
5, release back to Porterville, empty.
Mr. Branch should have.
Eaton air attack. LA copies. Tanker 74, Tanker 95. Back to Porterville. ETE 1733.
I'm seeing movement. I'm seeing people.
Yeah, I'm here.
Again, the last press conference was basically on the Eaton fire. They didn't really discuss the Palisades fire.
Pause this real quick. I gotta say something funny about Trump. So basically, Trump earlier was like, "Yo, Gavin Newsom, this is your fault, bro." He did me, but I liked it. Oh my god. What was I saying? You distracted me, dude. Who was typing like that? Typing what? I'm just sitting here. Anyways, oh yeah, so Trump was saying that he was blaming Gavin Newsom for the fires. And then Gavin Newsom responds, he's like, you don't believe in climate change, you're excused from this conversation. Goku. Do you believe in climate change? It's important. Alright, we wait. I'm gonna continue the video and then I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna see if Goku. We'll see if Goku is a climate changer. Actually, let's skip forward. It isn't even live. Look at this guy. Oh, I gotta.
Network LA is coordinating volunteers. To sign up, go to enla.org. In addition, the American Red Cross and LA Food Bank have all set up specific donation websites that you can access at emergency.lacounty.gov. Downed trees and power lines are impacting public transit service, and I want to thank Chair of our Metro Board, Supervisor Janice Hahn, for her speed and waiving Metro fares on today because of station power outages. But please, if you are in a safe place and you don't need to travel, stay put and stay safe. For those evacuating, Uber is providing rides for free, up to $40 to get to active shelters. This includes Pasadena Civic Auditorium, Westwood Recreation Center, El Camino Real Charter, Richie Valens Rec Center, and you can use the promo code WILDFIRE25. Tonight, the winds will remain strong, but our resolve is stronger. This emergency will continue. Let's keep each other safe, heed emergency instruction, and pray for the success of our frontline and first responders. Thank you.
I gotta read that again.
And now I'd like to introduce LA City Fire Chief Kristen Crowley.
What the fire?
Good evening, everyone.
It sounds funnier as toad.
As Southern California
Please save
is
me from the
continuing to endure some of the most historic fire conditions on record. Extreme fire weather driven by strong and erratic winds and low humidity have
What about the
ignited
17
multiple
million
fires
the mayor took away?
across
Does
our
that have
region.
anything to do with it? Or the
The
equipment you guys
LAFD
sent
is
to Ukraine?
fully committed
Would
to
that have helped with the
continuously
fires, or maybe
monitoring
clearing
and
out the
adapting
brush
to
and
the
the
evolving
forest?
nature of this
So it
weather
doesn't
event
spread as
and
fast?
stands ready
Those things help
to
too, but,
respond
you know.
to any additional incidents that may arise.
Oh my god.
Now,
So that's
how did
Karen
we
Bass
prepare?
on the left right here.
We
This is Karen
prepared in
Bass.
many, many
She was
ways,
in
but I want to
Ghana when the
focus
fire
on
was
two
going
main
on.
things.
And this is
We
her
augmented
fire
our
chief.
staffing
She's like an
levels and
LGB fire chief.
strategically pre-deployed
And,
our additional resources.
Yeah, her goal
In
was
addition,
to
we have
DEI the
recalled
fire program, so
off-duty LAFD
those
firefighters
things might
to
contribute.
augment our
I'm not sure,
response
but they
across
might.
the entire city. I'll be providing a brief on a few of the incidents within the city. As we know, the Palisades fire continues to demand significant local, regional, state, and federal resources. Currently, the fire is over 15,800 acres and is growing, with 1,792 personnel who are currently assigned. And as we know, I want to be very, very clear that this incident is very, very dynamic as we speak. The good news, the winds have subsided a bit, enough to allow our fixed wing and rotor wing aircraft to provide critical air support to this fire. Next up is the Hearst fire. The Hearst fire has grown to over 700 acres with 260 personnel assigned to this specific incident. There are evacuation orders in place with multiple structures that are threatened. We continue to focus on fire and life safety.
You guys see the screen?
The Woodley incident. It is controlled and approximately has burned 30 acres. I want to clarify a little something before Chief Maroney comes up. The Eaton fire, we are closely monitoring this specific fire. It is in the county, and we are absolutely paying very, very close attention to see how else we can assist. If it does come into the city, we are ready.
Los Angeles scanner.
Now, in addition to the large-scale brush fires in the past 24 hours, the LAFD has responded to an additional 3,950 911 calls for service within the city. This also includes 10 structure fires. We have treated and transported an extensive number of medical emergencies throughout the city. Now, the LAFD also continues to assess and allocate resources to ensure timely and effective responses across the entire city.
Let's go check someone
As the
else's
situation
stream.
evolves, the LAFD remains steadfast in its mission, working closely with our local.
Let's see who else is streaming. California fire. We'll go.
It's 2025, and you're still using the same cable network? Frontier Fiber is here, right now, for you. Ultra-fast, reliable, 100% fiber internet, powered by the speed of light. Get this amazing deal.
Going in and taking advantage of the worst possible circumstances to be able to enrich themselves. That will not be tolerated at all. And my ask is that everybody stay out of the impacted areas unless you live there, unless you have a real reason to be there. Our officers will be out there. They'll be watching for this.
How does that
and we're
sound?
taking this very, very seriously. So I want to thank you again for your work with us, to our media partners, for all that you've been able to do to get the message out there and keep people safe. It's now my honor to introduce Los Angeles County Sheriff Robert Luna.
My honor to introduce now LA Mayor.
Thank you, Chief, and thank you all for covering this very important story. So as I stand here before you with my partners around me, please know that I have several hundred LA County deputy sheriffs along with other police officers who are working all the impacted areas out there. They're involved in evacuations. They're involved in traffic control, ingress and egress into the area.
In the Hollywood
They're involved in
Hills.
security,
That is sus.
which the chief talked about, and I talked about it earlier. We're up to 3 arrests with looting. That is 100% unacceptable. I'm going to repeat it. If you do not belong in these areas, do not go there. We have additional people that we've brought in just to make sure
Oh
that
my
people's
lord,
property
boys
are
and
left
girls,
alone.
it is
These
next to
people have
Runyon
gone through
Canyon, the
so
famous
much.
Runyon
Don't put them through more than they have to go through. And then we're on humanitarian missions. I have deputies dropping off food, blankets, and other things to people who have either been evacuated or who just need somebody to talk to and frankly just give a hug to. Those are the kind of things that we're doing out there. I do want to talk about
how messed up of a person, bro. Like,
regarding the
people are suffering with fires,
we have over
and you're out here stealing their personal
members
stuff.
who have been impacted by either evacuation orders and or warnings. The Palisades fire, approximately 60,000 who have been impacted by evacuation orders or warnings. As I said earlier, we have called in additional resources, not only for what's in front of us, but looking around the corner, what's next. Both fire chiefs have made it very clear we are not out of danger. There's a lot of work to be done. For me, and my other role as mutual aid coordinator, just to give you an example,
I'm on this new software on the computer.
We are not only calling in
and I don't know how to make moderators
we
on
check
here.
with other departments, both in the county and outside the county.
I'm gonna continue with the video. Let's see what
we've
he's
provided
saying.
Pasadena Police Department with additional resources.
I was supposed to have a photo shoot, like going through literally like 3 of the fires,
the Orange County Sheriff's Department.
So and I'd like to thank those 2 departments. Thankfully, it got canceled. That's something we do in law enforcement. Santa Monica's asked for help last night. First night, bro, he's not. He's got to rest his knee. The fire is more. It's more appropriate for a skill.
Chief Maroney mentioned it. Unfortunately, we do have 5 fatalities, and we're praying that number doesn't increase, but there's a lot of work to do. And we'll see what happens there. We are up to 3 looting arrests as we speak. And then the last thing I'd like to leave you with again is earlier I spoke about evacuation warnings, evacuation orders, and a lot of road closures that are taking place in both of these locations. I'm not going to go through them all, but I encourage our community members to go to lacounty.gov/emergency, where you will get updates on those orders, warnings, and road closures. And again, I am really proud of our community overall. Sometimes we talk about the looting and people who aren't listening. I'm going to tell you, 99% of the people are listening, and I think that's why hopefully the injuries and fatalities and all those ugly things will stay down. So thank you to our LA County residents for working with us in partnership.
Spicy Pete
and
breaks
now
his
I'd
leg
like to
every 3 years.
introduce
He got traded,
LADWP General Manager Janess Quinones.
Based. Airbnb is providing free temporary housing
I'm
for people affected by the fire.
CEO and Chief Engineer of LADWP.
I love that.
In preparation for the windstorm, LADWP activated its emergency preparation plans and filled all 114 available water reservoirs and storage facilities throughout the city, including the 3.
This is from earlier. Clickbaiting me with the titles. Live now from Fox, please watch. Are you telling me there's only 2 lives right now? There's got to be more. There's no way. I want some like individual people's lives. I want to watch like other creators talking about it. Live California raging. Turns home into skeletal structures, bro. I think it turned them into dust more so. This one looks interesting, even though it's CNN. The only thing I don't like about the news ones, like, I know it's like a bad situation, of course, like houses burning, but they make it like even worse. They exaggerate it. So I'm like, dude.
DraftKings, the #1 sports book for live betting. The crown is yours.
But we'll give it a shot. Sometimes the live ones aren't as crazy.
She and the second gentleman are praying for the safety of their fellow Californians, the heroic first responders and Secret Service personnel, end quote. So it appears that even though
this is Altadena, this is the second one that started.
In the area that is affected
I've
by
been
these
keeping
fires,
up. I'm not even a fire guy, dude. It's just so close to my house that like, I have no choice.
Of the Vice President at this time.
This is the second one, but it passed. It didn't pass, but it's like close to the acreage now that the Pacific Palisades fire was at.
by these fires at this time as well. And he is going to be making his way back to Washington, D.C. Very shortly here for former President Carter's funeral, which is expected to take place tomorrow. As we continue to, I'm just getting a look at these pictures for the first time as well.
Actually, these flames are far enough from our house that we can't see them.
Palisades fire here. That
The
is
Palisades one is like
miles
20 miles
long,
away. It's
working
pretty
from,
close.
Where the Palisades community kind of starts on the east end, all the way to the west end, where the fire is now burning into the burn scar of that Franklin fire
Dude,
that we were
Kamal's
dealing
house
with
is
a
low
couple of
key.
weeks
It
ago.
might be under fire
So
at this
homes
point.
that were affected by that Franklin fire
Brentwood
are, homes that maybe
in the
were
risk
spared
area.
by that Franklin fire are
Diddy's
now
house?
being
Dude, Diddy
affected
doesn't have
by
houses.
this
He's got a jail cell now.
Palisades fire. Looking at the direction of the smoke right now, a lot of that smoke is still being pushed down, and that's telling us that at the surface level, at least, we're not feeling it too much up here at about 7,700 feet in our second Air 7. But down there on the surface, we are seeing evidence of strong winds. Leslie Lopez has been telling us that those wind speeds are still up into the 20s and 30s, and then some. Hopefully, once again, those die down as the day
hopefully they
continues.
do die down.
But we do see evidence that there's still strong winds at the surface level, and
you gotta consider too. These are mountain topish areas. Yeah, that house
I'll
on
let
fire.
Josh kind of stay focused in on these
These mountain top areas get heavy winds.
to see the smoke coming from the
I'm in like the
fire,
beachish
now
area,
kind
so
of crossing
it's
over
kind of like
smoke
lowland.
from the Palisades fire. It
Doesn't
creates
slap like
just an
that.
apocalyptic sight that is unbelievable to see right now.
Yeah, new fire in West Hollywood. WeHo, that's terrible. Let's go see if we can find that one. West Hollywood fire. Isn't that like... Oh, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. It's so annoying. I wish I could find other streamers like how I'm streaming right now, like the vertical, but of like different areas. Well, I guess they're not there anymore, but someone has to be there. I saw something the other day. Then we gotta filter to live again. I think we are good now. Live, California brush fires, live, continuing coverage. No, we already watched that. I hate that. I don't want to see them talk. No, same guy. Oh, here, this is a good one.
Check out the newest strength equipment at Planet Fitness.
We're trying new machines in the new year.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in? Save $28 or more when you join for just $1 down, $15.
And the fear, of course, is how rapidly this is moving toward homes. The Hollywood Bowl also is not far from here. I wish we had another camera in News Chopper 4 and we could show you what we're seeing out the window, especially at night. The contrast between the smoke, the flames, and the night sky.
If you have Twitter, follow Los
clearly
Angeles Scanner.
see
You post all that
how
updates.
quickly this
If
is
you want to
spreading.
stay
We're
in
trying to get
touch with
some
like
intel now on
I
how many
know you
acres
guys don't
are
live
currently
in the
burning.
area,
We're not seeing any structures burning just yet, but this is moving quickly. Started within the last 15 minutes.
Julia, how close are structures here? Now we see like this large
Crazy
blacked out
Hollywood
area.
Boulevard.
It's hard to tell whether that's a result of a power outage there or that's sort of a brushy wilderness area. How close are structures to this fire?
Approximately 10 acres.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and brighten up this picture. It looks to me like that dark area, Colleen. It's not the result of a power outage. Those are hills, but this fire is probably less than 1 mile north of these homes. Let me put up the map graphic here. We have this mapping
This is a new fire. Within the past 15 minutes, it started Hollywood. Celebrities. Think celebrities. It's where they live.
Drive, Carson Place,
Hollywood. Hollywood.
This is burning dangerously close to homes, and we have seen other fire jump
Close to
hills.
homes
That's
too,
the
bro.
fear
Crazy.
here, but there are firefighting resources in the air, on the ground. Now we're waiting for an update on the acreage.
I'm sorry,
I think it was 10
I
acres
was going to
or
say, if you can give us
3 acres.
a locator as well. I mean, we're talking about west of the Hollywood Bowl there. How close is the nearest freeway? That would be what, the 101?
I would imagine, yes.
That would be the 101. This is just west of the 101. That's correct.
Okay, there we see it on the map there.
All right, so yes, we see the, again, this fire burning in the Hollywood Hills. Julie, at this point, no acreage, but we do see an aerial assault taking place, correct?
That is correct. Aerial resources here right around us. No acreage yet, but I'm guessing containment on this is 0%.
Julia, you mentioned the winds up there. What do they feel like? You've been up there all day today. How strong are they?
It is a bumpy ride, Colleen. It's probably not as bad as what we experienced on our way to the Palisades fire earlier this afternoon, and then what we experienced later in the afternoon when we were trying to come down from shooting the Eaton fire at about 11,000 feet. But it's bumpy here, and you can probably see some of this dry brush blowing in the wind.
Yeah, you know, an area really familiar. You see Runyon Canyon Road there. Much of us are familiar with that particular area of, obviously, the Hollywood Hills at this point. Again, still no idea how close these flames are to homes, but we see just over the ridge what appears to be, Colleen, here, Waddles Drive and North Carson Avenue. There are a set of homes, or at least a stretch of homes there.
You're talking about Runyon Canyon. There's a popular hiking trail in there that so many people use, and so many people, it's become almost a landmark in LA. So many people visit it and say, you know, I've hiked Runyon Canyon. Talk to us a little bit, Julia, about the magnitude of the aerial assault here. Is it one chopper? I mean, are they throwing a lot at this right now?
We're not seeing it yet. Again, this just started. This erupted probably within the last 15, 20 minutes. I've got Flight Radar 24 up right now. It's this free app. I know people use it to track our news helicopters. I'm seeing 2 other helicopter icons right around us. They're south of where we are, so it looks like they're turning orbits. They're flying around the area, trying to figure out the scope of this fire for now. It looks to me like they are both firefighting helicopters. But we are right next to this fire. I was zooming in earlier on these homes along Waddles Drive because it looks to me like all the lights are on. People are home. I don't see cars lining up to get out of here just yet, so it doesn't seem like people are actively evacuating. But this fire, you can see it growing.
You see the smoke making its way over the ridge there, a true sign, or at least a warning for those folks who live on the other side. Again, we don't see, as you mentioned, Julia, any mass movement, if you will, of vehicles trying to get out. So perhaps, as you just mentioned, this just started. So, in fact, there hasn't been a warning as of yet.
We have not seen a warning, no evacuation orders just yet. This just happened. I don't know how long it takes to get that kind of warning out. We've got every alert turned on up here. I haven't seen anything come across my phone just yet. When we were flying over Topanga and Malibu earlier, I was getting alert after alert, letting me know about evacuation orders in that area. We have our location turned on, but up here, nothing just yet. I am starting to see what looks like more traffic down here. You can't be sure, though, because on this camera, you know, I can't really tell if it's headlights, taillights, or if it's embers flying through the air. We were starting to see that over in Altadena earlier, too, as the sun was going down. These images are going to stay with us for a very long time. We are covering historic devastation here, and we can smell and taste the smoke up here. I mean, my eyes are starting to water.
Well, the other thing we don't see as we look at this
everything, dude. These
are
everything we know. It's all burning
streets and the mapping area there. The
but
other
at the end of the day,
do not
it's all
see is
how
what appears to be
as long as
first
people make it
responders.
alive.
They would roll into a neighborhood or several neighborhoods like that with
you can
lights
rebuild
flashing,
shit,
and we
dude.
would be able to see
You
that
can't
from
bring
this
back
vantage
persons,
point.
yeah.
We're going to bring in Melissa McGee.
Oh,
We
everyone's
talked
weird.
about the winds out there. Julia, talk to us a little bit, Melissa, about the wind situation and the gusts we're seeing.
Police.
Finally. Aren't as strong as where they were earlier today. today and even yesterday. I want to show you our wind map right now so you can see what's going on with the fire that we're tracking here. We've got the new brush fire, and we've got relative humidity down into the lower teens. The gusts aren't too bad. Franklin Canyon Park, we've got a gust up to 36 miles per hour. Hollywood, we've got no gusts, so winds are calm at this hour. But the location is not great at all. There's a lot of vegetation across that region. And just to give people some vantage points, like you were saying, that fire is just to the west of the 101, to the west of, or to the east, I should say, of the Hollywood Bowl as well. So those are markers where people go. Runyon Canyon, like you mentioned, as well. So we do have some strong winds in that area. They are coming in out of the north and west. So we've got all of that dry vegetation up in the hills, and that is a major concern as we go throughout the rest of tonight. The good news is that the winds aren't as significant as they were last night. But as we see, fires have a tendency to create their own weather system as you're dealing with all of that heat that is helping to fuel the vegetation out ahead of the fires. So that's a really big concern here.
And Melissa, we just look at these pictures here from News Chopper 4 and Julia there in the helicopter for us, providing these images. And again, you look at this compared to what we've seen already here in parts of Southern California. And your thoughts?
It's not good. It's not good because, you know, we're tracking at least 4 major fires already. So we've got another fire in a location where you really do not want to have a fire up in the hills. It's another situation where you're going to have the likelihood of wind spreading out ahead of where that fire is currently burning. So it could be another situation where you're dealing with hot spots. And there's a lot of vegetation across that region, a lot of homes very close to that area as well. So this is not a good situation in the sense that when we're dealing with fires and vegetation like that, they travel much faster as they move uphill. But as we've seen, there has been some erratic wind of late. The good news tonight is that the winds will not be as strong, still moderate to strong, but not as dynamic as they were yesterday across our region. But this is a big concern because firefighters are certainly battling fires all over LA County and close to areas that we know and very familiar with. You can see we're watching Julia's map. We've got Runyon Canyon Road. A lot of us know that, do hiking and trail running all across that region. And another marker that we all know is the Hollywood Bowl. And then we've got the 101 on the other side of that.
You know, as we continue to look at this live picture and the map from News Chopper 4 and Julia Deng right now, we're going to bring in Robert Kovacic, who is very familiar with this area. Robert, are you with us?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
What can you tell us about this area? It's near Runyon Canyon. I'm not sure if you have access to a television or you can see what we're talking about here, but I know you live up in the area and you know more about it than most of us.
I can tell you that, you know, as we have been driving through the Palisades and still watch homes on fire and watch so many homes destroyed, then, you know, you feel for everybody. And then suddenly, you know, you think there by the grace go I, and then it becomes your neighborhood. And so, you know, I understand we have been very well versed in this part of the Hollywood Hills. I have been told by the LAFD many, many times through many years that this is one of our top areas of concern. These areas in the Hollywood Hills, we have not had a major fire there since the Bel Air fire decades ago. It is the aerial support that you are looking at right now, which is going to have to be the way to get this fire out. We're talking about Runyon Canyon. It's a very popular area for hikers and for families.